due to the wind. So we're down here at the park in Melbourne, and I just wanted to state a few facts. One is I have never, ever, ever, ever in my entire life received any inheritance of any family member. I've never been notified of any inheritance of any family member, male or female, from my mother's side or my father's side at any time in my entire life. Since 2017, I have only ever had on my identification a couple of addresses. These addresses are what I can recall as of now. There's never been anything stable other than one. After being removed from my mother's property in 2018, I was on the street. I was hunted, stalked. Sorry about that, stalker alert. Like I said, I was hunted, stalked. I've been raped, drugged, had things placed in my body, abused by hospitals, even my wrist. You look at my wrist, see how it goes like that? Compared to my other wrist. See how all the muscle's gone? That's what the hospital did to me. Sorry, I'm trying to get this out through the wind. So I've had many things done to me. Got trackers placed in my body. Any vehicle I've had, they've had trackers put in them. Everywhere I go, I'm recorded. All my phones, this phone I'm on now, that's my beautiful dog Holly. This phone I'm on now, I've had it probably a week. It's hacked already. They're hacked within hours. Sorry about that again. The addresses. See if I can hide up in here. Yeah, hiding in the trees now. Addresses that I've had since 2017, when I was removed by the police with false allegations from my mother and an IVO placed on me, which really was just to make me vulnerable, do things around me to make me go crazy. Life insurance policy placed on my head, they've had those on my head for a long, long time. But the protection that I have from the Most High, they're unable to do anything like that. So I don't even know why they're still bothering. But they are. Holly, come here, darling. So I went from my mother's in 2017, I think it was February 2018, straight onto the street, hunted severely. The only place I went was a caravan park out in Dandenong. That would have gone on my identification. From there, I went out to a share house on South Road, Moorabbin. That would have been on my identification. Then it was Michael was sleeping around and everything else, as always. I walked off, I went out on the street again, then I was falsely imprisoned, only for approximately 4 weeks. Then from there, I went back out, I went into a motel for a few days, on the street again. Then women's housing placed me in, of all places that I hate, St Kilda, into a share house. I went there. Then Michael came back, asking for forgiveness and everything else. I didn't want to be back with him. Mind you, never married. Why would you marry someone who just sleeps around? and he can try and take me to court for this all he likes, but it's the truth. Try to take me to court for a million things that I don't even know, I wouldn't even know. But I know they've tried to take me to court, probably put someone else pretending to be me, taking me to court. I wouldn't know. I don't even care because it's all just a load of hogwash. So, share house in St Kilda, and then because I had a cat and they caught me with my cat, they moved me to another share house in Toorak. I was only there for 2-3 months, then ended up sleeping in a bus, church bus, the church's bus. So the next address on my identification would have been a motel on Frankston Dandenong Road, Malvern East. I think it was 1019 to 101 something Dandenong Road, Malvern East. Then from there got a proof. We were there for 18 months. Then we got approved for a rental property in Southlands Loop, 21 Southlands Loop, over near Melton Way, and it's called actually Strathalloch, Strathalloh, which is next to Melton on the outskirts in a new estate. We were renting there, and then everything was good, and then this stage Michael and I had sort of got back together, and then it was meant to be Michael anyway, long story, but then he was going to work but not at work, and I said I want no part in all that rubbish. I'm a very loyal person. Anyone who wishes to challenge my loyalty, feel free. Maybe you'd like to try and come to my face for once in your lives. And then I ended up in hospital with an infection. I was poisoned. This is after being asked to get married and I declined. I was poisoned. I was placed in a hospital for, I think it was 3 or 4 weeks or something. And then he was doing the finances, didn't pay the rent, got evicted, and then back onto the street. That's the last accommodation on any of my identification, and that is still on my driver's licence today, but I don't reside there, and I've been on the street since leaving there, and currently live in the back of a vehicle. I have no vehicles in my name, none at all. There's only been one vehicle in my name in the last 4 or 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. 7 years. One vehicle in my name, and that's the blue Ford Ranger. That also, once investigators do their job properly, they'll discover that vehicle when we purchased that, and then that was swapped. The registration is expired on that, and we're currently staying at a park in Bentley. The turbo's blown and trying to find accommodation. I've never received 1 cent of my inheritance. I've never been notified. I haven't seen any of my family members in many, many, many years. I haven't seen my mother since 2018. I saw my stepsister once. My brother I haven't seen since I ran into him once in Frankston, and I was disgusted and kept walking. My stepsister, I ran into her once and rang her on the phone a couple of times. She's never mentioned anything about any inheritance. Michael has told me what inheritance. He knows of no inheritance that I've ever received or meant to receive. I've also found documents with documents at the Southlands Loop, Strathalloch rental property. I found document there from another doctor in my name of a medical certificate. That wasn't me. Medication placed into my name, I believe, wasn't me. Other doctors' appointments and information I found laying around wasn't me. I've also found a page of police priors, and it's got an alias name. I've forgotten the name, but I've never had an alias name with the police. It's always just been Ebony Burgess. Otherwise, the only name I was ever known as is Bonnie, Eb Bonnie. Bonnie I was known as growing up. And it's also got a year of birth there, 48. My mother's year of birth is 1948. I'm 78, so I don't know how that would fly. I've also tried to put on an IVO on my ex-partner. There was an IVO put on many years ago. The police put it on over something simple. When I went there, maybe 4 months ago, they said no charge. They said sorry that they didn't believe they could put an IVO on and gave me some hogwash. So I have no way of protecting myself whatsoever. Then I heard them approach him while he was next to me and told him and said, I don't know what we're going to do. They didn't know I could hear them. He never has been charged. Nothing's ever happened with that. And what else? Yeah, my phone got swapped and stolen. Nothing gets done, nothing. Anything happens to me medically, I'm not safe to go to the hospital. Sometimes I do out of sheer desperation when I'm really ill, but I don't like going there. Many things that they do there. So anyway, I just wanted to clear that up. So never, ever have I been told about a court case, notified of a court case, told about money. The only thing to do with money is that one of my trust funds as a child, my dollar account, and my grandmother also had a trust fund. I went to the Commonwealth Bank for my one in primary school, and it just does not exist anymore. Where that money went is interesting because they wouldn't tell me anything about it, and it was my money. I've had Centrelink benefits when COVID, and you could get the payments, but when you had COVID, I would get denied. I've had many benefits that I couldn't receive, and other people have received. My MyGov always hacked. Everything of mine's hacked. I have no privacy. All my emails. Like I said, I got one iPhone 16 recently, as in about 4, 5, 6 months ago now. Went and got it on a loan, didn't even make one payment, and it got swapped. Copied, then swapped. So now I'm in debt for that. They didn't want me having that sort of privacy. All my clothes get things put in them. So anyone wondering why I'm always in the same clothes, I'm always in the same clothes because I get anything decent, it gets stolen, or they swap it and put things in it to affect my body, or they do their stupid spell work, or whatever else floats their boat. My dog's had things done to her. You might be able to see. Holly, come here. Come, mummy. Sit down. Sit for mummy. I don't know. Holly, come here. Come here. See on the... Holly, stay. Holly. See. Holly, stay. On the top of her head. Holly, stay, babe. As far as a vet, stay there, Holly. Stay there, Holly. See how she's all swollen at the back? I take her to a vet, and they either don't help me, or like I was told, $100 for a urine sample, and then I dropped off the urine sample on a day they didn't expect, and it was actually only $50, so they lied to me. So the day they lied to me when I went in and got treatment for her, they way overcharged me for the antibiotics. So they try and make it so myself and my dog, my cat, same thing's done to him as well. They try and make it so I'm constantly without money. That's one of the reasons I'm so underweight. Back in this tree. And the other reason is because when you fast, etc., and you lose weight, all of the cells in your body, or anything that's not 100% healthy, leaves your vessel. So this is a way of me keeping myself healthy with everything that gets done to me. So yeah, I've never received any properties, never been notified of any properties. In fact, my great-grandmother left me her house, and then suddenly my brother's in it, and apparently wasn't left to me, which, anyway, I'm not one to chase money, but I will chase justice, and I will stand on this until justice is brought forward, because what they've done and doing continually to myself, they've done to other people. Many people have lost their inheritance and been killed for life insurance policies. The corruption is disgusting. The government should be ashamed of themselves. And I just think it'd be pretty amusing, somewhere out there, as it states in the Bible, the Most High God's wife is out on this earth somewhere. Imagine they did something like this to her. Whoa, imagine doing that to God's wife. Whoa, wonder who she is, hey. Wonder who she might be. Ooh. Anyway, that'll be interesting to find out who that is, won't it, one day? So, if that had been me, say, can you imagine what's going to happen to these people, and what's going to would happen to this government that's behind all this rot? Whatever's done in the dark is brought to the light. Every whisper behind closed doors will be yelled from the housetops. So, anyway, and anyone who thinks that they're going to come along and apologise so that I'll lie for them, you might want to check yourself before you wreck yourself, because don't bother. Not going to happen, not going to happen, not going to happen, not going to happen. Not in this lifetime, not in any lifetime. Just like it says in the Bible, after being baptised and once you get right with the Lord, incorruptible. I am incorruptible. Don't bother. Don't bother coming to me blackmailing me. Don't bother coming to me asking me for this or that or threatening me. There's nothing you've got on me that's legitimate that I've done anywhere in the world at any stage of my life. Nothing. There's nothing that I have received that I need to hide. There is nothing that I need to be ashamed of. Nothing do you have on me that I will not speak publicly in front of the world. So, go for it. Go for it. I am not. There's nothing. You don't have anything, because there isn't anything. You thought you could destroy my life and other people's lives with lies, but we can destroy your lives with the truth. Work that out. Uh-oh. So, anyway, I'll share some of my prophetic dreams shortly, but yeah, that's all for now. So, anything else that I get guided to speak on, I will. So I've never lived in any house or notified or showed or shared anything to do with any property or money or even a gift, any jewellery, any nothings. Nothing. I've lived on Centrelink. And how is it that I'm meant to be apparently crazy but they have me on looking for work through Centrelink. How can I look for work if I'm in these cycles? Make it make sense. Like, make it make sense. I don't know. Make it make sense. And this money that you think you're going to be stealing, what you have stolen, you'll be paying back, probably from behind bars. And it won't be going to anyone coming up and doing these fake apologies. I said years ago, I said, in the future, do not bother with, if I can't beat her, I'll join her. You couldn't beat me, you won't beat me, and you won't be joining me. Money that you have stolen, that would have been for some of the people that have come against me, you will no longer be getting. And this money will be going to the ones who bring justice, who have upheld their integrity, or ones who the Lord Jesus guides me to bless, because they have chose to close out this cycle and make things right in the right way, not make things right out of greed. And remember, you don't owe me an apology, you owe yourselves an apology, because I'm going to be fine at the end of the day. You guys, you need to get yourselves right. And thank you to my Earth Angels out there, and some of you don't even know your Earth Angels, for making things right and bringing justice and risking your lives and your families and everything like that. You will be very blessed, is all I'm going to say. You'll be very blessed. And I hope this is over soon, because this has been a long 7 years flat out, but it's gone on for most of my life, all this rock. But since my daughter was born in 2017, non-stop. And my daughter deserves to come back home, and my son deserves the truth. Anyway, thank you. Until next video. Bye.